Now we'll go ahead and we'll have our Royal Rumble preview here. We still got one more show before we got tomorrow's SmackDown as the go home show. But I think the Rumble itself is pretty locked in. We've got just a couple of matches and then the two Rumbles themselves. So we'll go ahead and start right off here and talk about your favorite wrestler, as you said, Bray Wyatt and LA Knight in a Mountain Dew pitch black match. It's hard to talk about this match when I don't even know exactly what the hell it is. But what do you think is going to happen in this match? You threw it an idea on the original recording here. So what do you think this match is?
All right. So what I think this kind of match is, let's see here. I'm trying to recall the name of it, but I of course I'm not going to remember it. TNA has this match type where they lock both competitors in dark rooms for 24 hours, kayfabe, and then after that 24 hours they come out, and the arena, of course, is lit how the arena is lit, making it very difficult for the competitors to see each other. It almost looks like it's implied in the graphic for the match that that's what they're going to do with that. Either that or it's going to end up being a some kind of match where maybe it's going to be a cinematic match in the dark, which is also kind of my worst fear. You know what I mean? Like it's
I'm
uh
not a big fan of cinematic matches, and that's my fear of this, especially for like Bray's, big pay per view or premium live event return match here.
yeah.
To do something cinematic, I've I've never been a big fan of them. Um, but yeah, I certainly Bray goes over whatever this ends up being. Bray goes over, right?
Yeah, the Bray has to go over. I mean, oh, not necessarily, because I think a loss to LA Knight's just going to push either the Uncle Howdy or the Fiend that's still in Bray Wyatt's head to come closer and closer to the surface. Because again, we are getting Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. It's not Uncle Howdy. It's not the Fiend. So I think a loss for Bray Wyatt could be what pushes him over the edge. Excuse me. What pushes him over the edge to bring the character back.
Right. All right. Hold on. Let me... Yeah, and we'll go ahead and move on and talk about our. We'll skip that for now. We'll talk about the match for the Raw Women's Championship: Bianca Belair versus, speaking of Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy, Alexa Bliss. Um, this is an interesting one that I think could go either way, but I think the way they're building up Alexa Bliss here with the Wyatt connection, I think she ends up going over here and winning the title from Bianca. What are your thoughts on this match?
You know, the first recording we did of this episode, I said Alexa Bliss is going to go over. I now completely changed my thoughts on that. It's the same mistake they made with the Fiend the first time, and I don't think they're going to make it again, especially now with Alexa Bliss. With the story that they have going right now with Alexa Bliss, you don't need to put a belt on her. The belt isn't going to benefit the story that they're telling with Alexa Bliss in any way. I think there's going to be some chicanery. Yeah, bringing that word back. There's going to be some chicanery with the Wyatt Six logo appearing, and maybe the black ooze pouring off Alexa Bliss again, and just for whatever reason she might walk out of the match.
Hmm.
But I no longer see Alexa Bliss going over.
I still lean towards Alexa Bliss, but I can see just about anything in this match. I think this might be more unpredictable than some of the rumbles right now. This match, but yeah, I can definitely see Bianca coming out still with the title, but whatever happens, it won't be a clean victory for her. It'll be something happening, something that leads to an Alexa loss, either from Uncle Howdy, or maybe she tries to fight, the pull of the Wyatt Six and of Uncle Howdy and all that, and in her internal struggle, Bianca takes advantage. Something along those lines could happen. We'll see. All right, we'll move on to the main event. Uh, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. Uh, Roman Reigns defending against Kevin Owens. Uh, I don't think there's any shot Kevin Owens goes over here, or any shot. Yeah, I don't think there's any shot Kevin Owens goes over. But how Roman Reigns wins, I think, is where things get interesting. Could it be a Sami Zayn thing where he screws up, or alternatively turns on the bloodline? Um, I was talking about, we disagree on this a little bit. You think they're gonna run the Sami Zayn thing all the way to SummerSlam. I think it's gonna end up being Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos at WrestleMania for the tag titles. But how do you see this match playing out, specifically for the bloodline? Because we're both in agreement that Roman Reigns is winning.
So what I think is going to happen is, Raw is 30. Uh, it was such a slow burn of getting Jay to finally trust Sammy. And you, much like myself, probably when you saw Jay save Sammy from the Samoan spike so they can present the defense. Um, I think now that you've seen Sammy help out, the Usos retain. Now it's time for Sammy to step up and help Roman retain. I don't think though it's going to be a very like willing help to retain. I think Sammy's going to um, have some mental coil about what he just did. Um, that's why I think it's going to be a slow burn going into SummerSlam season and not so much WrestleMania season. Um, then again, you get the Ring of Honor duo of El Generico and Kevin Owens siding with the one-time Ring of Honor champion Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania, and you'd have the Indie Darlings versus the Bloodline. Oh my God, what the hell?
Oh, you're working yourself into a shoot here. It almost sounds like don't start booking things and in your head thinking, oh my god, the Indies versus the Bloodline. That's not ever gonna really be a thing that WWE thinks. Doesn't mean
Listen,
that you can't have that happen. Because again, I think, and we'll talk about the Rebels, and there's some news floating around out there about a certain Stone Cold, but you could very well get Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, and then the Usos and KO and Sami Zayn. I just don't think they'll necessarily promote it in any sort of way. There might be hints, but of like, oh, the indie guys versus wrestling royalty.
listen, El Generico exists in the WWE lexicon thanks to Michael Cole. That's all I'm saying. Never thought I'd say that in a million years, but man, what a wild ride the last year was.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the Royal Rumble matches themselves. Uh, we'll start talking. We'll start with the women's Royal Rumbles match. We don't need the graphic for these. The women's Royal Rumble match. Very few women have been officially confirmed this match. Uh, when we talked about Raw 30 earlier, there are all a lot of legends. There's only one female legend that was Medusa or Alundra Blaze. We can all assume they're holding back the female and diva legends for the Royal Rumble itself. So you'll have your Tori Wilsons. Maybe we'll get a Stacy Keibler sighting. Maybe we'll get a Trish Stratus and Alita and all those greats, of course. Kelly. But we also talked about on our show on the recording that will never be seen on Tuesday. The question I
Don't you do this to me, Bobby.
we also talked about how there would be an NXT, certainly a lot of NXT women. You'll have Roxanne Perez, Gigi Dolan, I'm sure, and JC Jane. You'll have maybe a Wendy Chu and uh, uh, Cora Jade and probably Nikita Lyons. And we all assume, because my question, and it's still the question I want to pose to you, was not just who's going to win, but who's going to be in the final four. And we both believe there's going to be an NXT person, and we kind of threw Nikita in there by default, but now we find out Nikita's blown her knee out. She's torn her ACL and a meniscus, and there's no way she'll be there for the Rumble. It'll probably be a good 9 to 12 months before we see Nikita in a ring again. So
it's 7 to 9 months is what they're saying right now.
Yeah. So now that we know that information, we know Nikita's not going to be in the final four. What are your final four, and who do you have winning this match?
First and foremost, I wish my baby, my future baby mama, my future ex-wife, Nikita Lyons, a quick and speedy recovery. You're going to be missed. I'm going to buy your proceed shirt as well. Ironically enough, I'm sitting on the couch last night watching the Mark Briscoe match, and David Truitt, of all people, texts me and goes, "Hey, bud, I got some bad news for you." And he sends me the entire report on Nikita Lyons. And I'm like, you and I had already talked about this, but just knowing that it's a long running joke now of everybody knowing how much I love Nikita Lyons, and people are just trying to piss in my cornflakes essentially at this point by sending me the medical report over and over and over again.
Oh boy.
So screw it. I'm completely changing my picks for Royal Rumble. Don't even care anymore. It could be fucking Wendy Chu during nap time, and that's how she gets the pin because she's sleeping and accidentally rolls over on somebody who's knocked out. I don't know. Yeah, I just spoke that into existence, and if Vince ever comes back to creative, you know what's happening. I'm going to agree with you, Bobby. Rhea Ripley. It's how they're going to, put the Judgment Day on SmackDown. It's how they're going to retire Rey Mysterio. There you go.
Yeah, Rhea
Don't
Ripley.
even care who's the final four.
It's going to lead into Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. Though if Bianca does end up winning the earlier match against Alexa, you could certainly go that way as well, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. But I think the bigger match would be Rhea and Charlotte. Because Rhea still has the backing of the Judgment Day, and I think Charlotte goes over. I think if it ends up being Rhea and Bianca at Mania, I think Rhea goes over and wins the belt. But I do think Rhea Ripley is winning this Royal Rumble. What do you think are your final four? What are your final four?
Well, unfortunately, I got a little inside information. I know that's what's happening at this point. Unfortunately, wish I didn't, but here we are. Final four. Obviously, Rhea. Probably Roxanne Perez. They got to highlight the NXT Women's Champion. Ronda and Becky.
Yeah, Ronda, Becky, obviously, or no. I think I was wishy-washy on putting Becky in the final four before, wasn't I? It's Ronda, Charlotte, Rhea. Yeah, I think.
Why would Charlotte be in it?
No, yeah, she's not. She's going to be in the match because she's champion. Yeah, she won't be in it. So Ronda. Yeah, either Becky or Bayley.
Or if you're wishy-washy on Becky, there's always the possibility that there will be a returning Nia Jax.
Yeah, Yeah, it could be. Oh, no, 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 no. We're completely forgetting. I can't believe you forgot Chelsea Green.
That's right. I did put Chelsea Green in my
Chelsea
original four,
is
but
it.
after Nikita gets hurt, how can you really remember what's going on with this match?
So yeah, for me it was, I felt like Bailey and Becky are gonna have a thing, and that's gonna end up getting Becky eliminated by chicanery with damage control.
That's right, buddy. Bring it back. Bring it back.
So it'll be Chelsea Green, a debuting Chelsea Green. They're gonna push her into the final four. Rhea Ripley, who's gonna win the thing. Charlotte, or no, again, not Charlotte. Ronda Rousey, and who will probably be the final two, and that's the one Rhea ends up going over, perhaps. And then you'll have an NXT person in there. I don't think it'll be the NXT champion, because she's already champion. She's already got the belt. I think they'll push maybe a Cora Jade or someone along those lines. So and that's why I went with Nikita before. So I'll say Cora
Oh,
Jade here.
maybe a Mandy Rose.
I could wish. I'd be forever pissed if they fired Mandy Rose only to bring her back a few weeks later. I mean, I'll be happy
Well,
for Mandy. I'll be happy for Mandy, but I'll be pissed that I didn't get to meet her. I am pissed that I didn't get to meet her the week
have
after
you
he got
checked?
fired.
Have you checked your fan time account lately?
It is getting more risque, so I don't think she's coming back
Oh,
anytime
okay.
soon.
Not coming back. Nope. Confirmed.
No, she's full on got nipples out now. So go subscribe to Mandy Rose's fan time account and check that out because it is getting even spicier than it was before. So
Isn't her fiance like a pastor or some religious thing?
he's in a lot of these. She's grabbing
Oh my
fun
god.
spots in a lot of these. So if he is,
Fun spots. Interesting.
uh, yeah, all right. So that'll be the women's. You got me thinking about Mandy Rose, and I paused for a second. I apologize. We'll move on to the men's Royal Rumble match, and this is a little harder to predict. I mean, everyone and their mom is saying Cody Rhodes because they're pushing it. It's the obvious move. May not be the wrong move, but at the same time, we've got obviously for a while we thought we might be getting a Rock versus Roman Reigns, head of the bloodline kind of match. But news came out last week that Rock apparently decided he just didn't have enough time to get into shape for a match. Which didn't he know? Like this is what WWE has wanted for like 2 years now. But whatever, they couldn't work it out, whatever reason. But then Sean Ross Sapp has put a report out there through Fightful Select that WWE has made an offer, a big money offer, to Stone Cold Steve Austin for a match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. No word on how long ago exactly that offer was made. No word on whether it was accepted, but we know that offer happened. If that is true, and if Stone Cold accepts that offer, we got to figure out how to get to that match. Stone Cold versus Roman Reigns. Winner of the Royal Rumble faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So I think you could get a surprise Stone Cold number 30 entrance. So that way he doesn't have to be in there that long because I don't think he wants to wrestle that much in the Rumble. And if that's the case, he wins. If Stone Cold is not in the Rumble, I think it's definitely Cody Rhodes. But that makes so assuming Stone Cold is not in it because it's kind of impossible to predict that. My final four will be Cody, Drew McIntyre. Ooh. Cody, Drew. I was trying to. There was someone else I remember putting it on Tuesday, and now my mind's blanking here. I think I had Brock Lesnar in the final four, and hmm, why don't we say? You know what? I'm gonna put Gunther. I think in the final four. I think they want to push him, and I think they could have him up there. What are your final four for the men's Royal Rumble, and who do you think is going to win? All right, hold on just a second. For whatever reason, I've got no audio for you right now.
That's because I muted myself because I
Yep.
had to blow my nose.
All right.
All right. Here's my completely serious final four. Cody Rhodes. Okay. Drew McIntyre. I'm staying with the Drew McIntyre pick. He's not winning, but he will be in the final four. Matt Cardona, Jay White.
Oh, will it never end with you?
Obviously, I'm just kidding, although Jay White's officially a free agent, so do with that information what you will.
That is true.
Um, no, we all know Cody Rhodes is winning this. I expect Matt Cardona to maybe make an appearance. Maybe. You're shaking your head, but you know, and let's be honest, I feel like the whole Good Brothers New Japan storyline that was still going on after they came to WWE, the whole Carl Anderson, I felt more like a recruiting trip than it did a belt defense. So there's a possibility Jay White shows up, but he's not going to be in the final four. He's going to get eliminated by Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens is going to lose to Roman, and he's just going to re-enter himself back into the Rumble because this happens in like every freaking match that's ever happened at Royal Rumble that involves a title. And then KO is just going to give him the AJ Styles treatment and eliminate him and say, "Welcome to WWE," before he gets eliminated by somebody bigger. So final four: Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, uh, Brock. Now I have to go Brock. And
So far we agree.
no, I'm going to go back on Brock. I'm going to stay true to what I was saying because the storyline and the angle that's set up with Bobby and Brock, there's going to be some kind of chicanery in the Royal Rumble match itself that's going to lead to Brock being eliminated early. And I think what that chicanery is going to be is they're bringing back the Hurt Business. They've been teasing the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So that's where that's going to end up going, I have a feeling.
You think Omos and Bobby Lashley could team together to take out Brock Lesnar in the Rumble?
Yeah, I really do.
Doesn't sound like a bad
they
idea.
like to build Brock as a strong guy, but you're not stronger than that, homeboy.
I can definitely buy that. That would be interesting.
God, why am I struggling with my final two? Because I feel like when we first did this, it was just boom, boom.
So do you want to put Bobby Lashley up there? You think he goes into the final four
Nope.
then, or
Nope, because I think Omasa immediately turns on Lashley. So I'm going to go Cody, Drew, Sami Zayn.
ooh, that's who it was. I think I had in the final four. You're right.
Yeah, that's who I believe I had as well, just because the possibility is there. They really try and push Sammy to win the Royal Rumble. They want him to win so he can forfeit his match. That way, the tribal chief doesn't have to wrestle at WrestleMania. And my fourth and final pick, and I know this is one of those picks, it seems like it's way out of left field, but he's been getting a little push lately on SmackDown. Ricochet.
Hmm.
Not saying he's gonna, go past the final four or get to the final two or anything like that, but they are gonna have to switch it up eventually with the mainstays that you would think would see in there. And Ricochet makes perfect sense. I mean, he is the World Cup Wrestling Champion, or whatever the hell they're calling it.
Interesting. I like the idea with my final four. You could have maybe a Brock Lesnar and Gunther face off. That'd be fun. But
Dream match.
right. But there are a lot of interesting possibilities, and neither one of us are probably right with the final four for either Rumble. But it'll be fun to see how close we get.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by Bomb Media Production.